Hey, Dr. Rusty Bachak here. Just want to put out a video to start the new year. It's new year, new you. What's almost everyone's main goal for the new year, and that's to lose weight. So I wanted to discuss weight loss options with my patients and to discuss really just how dangerous obesity is. Study after study show that obesity is a major risk factor for just a lot of different diseases. There's numerous cancers that are associated with obesity, and that includes colon cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer, kidney cancer. We know that weight struggles increase risk for diabetes, increases risk for heart attack, stroke. A lot of studies will show that just with a BMI, a body mass index over 30, which for like a 5'8" person would be about 200 pounds, almost doubles your risk of premature death from all causes. So it is crucial that we lose weight. And the truth is, so many Americans struggle with weight loss. So let's discuss a little bit about how to help in people's journey to lose weight. I talked in our last video about the 4 pillars of good health, and that was diet, exercise, sleep, and emotional health and emotional well-being. And the truth is, if we apply all 4 of these to your weight loss journey, they really help people lose weight. So what is the number one thing that people focus on? And that's diet. And there's a lot of truth to that, because our diet is what's leading to a lot of people to have obesity and weight gain. So what are the main things we can do? Certainly calorie restriction is crucial and helps. So trying to decrease calories. But to be honest with you, a lot of studies will show when people do these huge calorie restrictions, it works temporarily, but in the big picture, it actually slows down your metabolism. It's almost like our body says, wait a second, what's going on? We used to eat all of these calories, and now suddenly we're not eating anywhere near that amount of calories. Must be in a famine, must be starving, so let's slow down our metabolism. So it ends up backfiring for a lot of people. So yes, eating a little bit less calories every day is crucial. But to be honest with you, massively calorie restriction doesn't seem to work in the big picture. So we need to focus on healthy eating. So before we can talk about specific food choices, let's talk a little bit about insulin resistance, because that seems to be one of people's biggest struggles. What is insulin? Insulin is a hormone that our body produces to control our blood sugar. Everyone produces insulin. It's not just a diabetic thing. And it lowers our sugar. The problem is a lot of people get what's called insulin resistance, meaning that the same amount of food that you ate 10 years ago that our insulin barely would have increased to control our sugar from that food, now we have to produce 3, 10, 20 times the amount of insulin to control our sugars based on the same amount of food that we just ate. So what causes that? It's usually all about carbs. Constantly putting sugars and carbohydrates into our diet makes our body have to produce more and more insulin, and then eventually the insulin quits working. So sugary food and beverages, so the sodas, the constant desserts and sugars get us in trouble. Refined carbohydrates and refined flour products, things like pastas and breads and crackers and potato chips, high fatty foods, trans fats like vegetable oils, and high processed meats like hot dog meat and sandwich meats. All these things can definitely lead to a lot of insulin resistance. The French fry is like the worst thing anyone could possibly eat, because it's high carb, high oily food, and it gets us in trouble. Excessive alcohol intake can get us in a lot of trouble. Basically, I always say these things: anything in the middle aisle of a grocery store leads to trouble. If your great-great-grandmother would not have actually understood that this was food, because it comes in some little processed package that when you open up, she'd have been like, I don't even know what this is. What is a Taki? Don't eat it. It's not good for you. Almost every single thing in the middle aisle of a grocery store leads to insulin resistance and leads to weight gain. Where things on the outside of the grocery stores, the vegetables, the fruits, the lean meats, even dairy and cheese and things like that really don't usually get people in trouble when it comes to insulin resistance and weight loss. So what do you focus on? You focus on foods that are whole, unprocessed food, things like vegetables and fruits, whole grains. Those are great for you. Lean proteins. I'm a huge fan of a diet called the Mediterranean diet. You can Google that. It'll put it out there. It's foods that are good, healthy oils like olive oils, high proteins, lean meats. These are very crucial. High fiber foods, things like vegetables, obviously, oats are just extremely important for us to do that, and it avoids the insulin resistance. So carbs kill. Put it in your brain. This is things you want to avoid, and try to eat real food and less processed food. So also is crucial is to decrease carbs, increase protein. Higher protein foods massively help us decrease our appetite, massively help us lose weight. The average or ideal amount of protein that you should eat is about 0.8 to 1 gram per body weight. So, I weigh 178 pounds. So that means I should be eating at least 150 grams of protein a day. It's not easy to do, but it's crucial. If you get that protein in, people feel fuller. You crave carbs a lot less, and it's been proven to increase your metabolism. If you want to snack, I always tell people just get a handful of nuts. There's been studies that show eating a handful of nuts right before you eat a meal majorly decreases how much calorie intake you take. Nuts have been proven to really decrease your appetite, so that's crucial. The other thing is drink more water. It takes a lot of energy, calories, to increase the temperature of water in our bodies. So just drinking water actually speeds up our metabolism in a way and actually burns calories. So drink more water, and you feel fuller because the water is in there and you're not drinking constant sugary drinks, which helps avoid insulin resistance. Just some little tricks. Try not to snack. Make yourself pretty darn hungry going into a meal. But again, if you do that little handful of nuts right before the meal, it may help you eat a lot less during that meal. Don't get second helpings. We don't need 2 giant platefuls of food. You just try to say, okay, what are things I can do? Slow down your eating. Studies will show that if you eat really fast, you're consuming a lot more calories. There is something called leptin, which is a hormone that basically makes us feel full. And if you eat a lot slower, that leptin starts kicking in before you've consumed tons of calories. So those are crucial. So again, 4 pillars of good health. We focused on diet. What about exercise? You've got to move if you want to lose weight. You've got to exercise. You've got to make this an important part of your equation if you want to lose weight. 4 or 5 days a week. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be faithful. You've got to say no excuses. I've got to do something 4 or 5 days a week, at least 30 minutes. And that could be anything from cycling to rowing to just walking around the neighborhood to jogging. The truth is, the more you sweat, the more calories you're burning, the higher your metabolism is going to speed up, the more important that is to weight loss. Try to focus in on that. If you really want to lose weight, at least 150 minutes a week. If you are wanting to be faithful about it, 300 minutes a week. Now you say, gosh, what is that? But that's about 5 hours a week. So it's about 4 weekdays a week plus maybe 1 day a weekend where you're saying, I'm going to put an hour of exercise in. That would be incredible if you can do that. Adding or including in that some muscle building exercises helps, because the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is, the more weight loss and fat burning you have. So doing some kind of resistance training, you can hit the gym, you can just Google what are good exercises to gain some muscle. They might be some HIIT exercises or some Pilates or things like that, just whatever it takes. There's no excuses. If you have YouTube, just Google it, say, what's a 30-minute exercise video for beginners? You don't have to kill yourself at the beginning. If you've never exercised before, just get out, do some daily walks. And then as soon as you get to the point, you're like, you know what? Walking's a lot easier. Say, maybe I should do a little bit of jogging with that. But whatever it takes, get some exercise in. It is crucial. Third pillar of good health is sleep. Study after study show that people who are getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night majorly increase their obesity. Try to aim for 7 hours of sleep. I talked about that leptin, that hormone that helps decrease our appetite. Studies will show if you're not getting enough sleep, the leptin quits working and your appetite increases. Fourth pillar of good health is just emotional well-being. Stress causes inflammation in the body, which causes weight gain. Stress hormones like cortisol causes weight gain. So try to do whatever it takes to try to decrease stress in your life. What's some great ways to decrease stress? Exercise and get better sleep, which also help with weight loss. Now, people ask all the time, what about Mounjaro? What about Ozempic? What about these magic weight loss medicines that everyone's hearing about? Do I feel like that they're safe? Do I feel like they work? And I really do. I'm amazed at how much weight my patients have lost by using these tools. How do they work? They target something called GLP-1 receptor in the body, one in the brain, and makes you feel less hungry. And most people who take these meds are just saying, I'm just less hungry. I'm less focused on food. I don't think about it as much. Two, they cause something called gastroparesis, which is a fancy way of saying your stomach empties slower. So because of it, you feel fuller all the time and you fill up faster. So it's a lot less calories going in your body. And then the other really cool way they work is they cause the slowdown of something called gluconeogenesis, which is a fancy doctor way of saying our liver's constantly making new sugar. By stopping that or slowing that down, there's less need for our body to constantly be producing insulin to control the sugar, so less insulin resistance. And your body's cells are saying, okay, where's all that sugar we were just getting? Where do we burn some things to get that energy and get that sugar? And then you burn fat. And so in a way, it kind of speeds up your metabolism. So you're less hungry, you fill up faster, you eat less, and then your metabolism in a lot of ways really speeds up. So people are able to lose a lot of weight. On average, the person who's able to take Ozempic or one of those type of products for a year, on average loses 20% of their body weight. If you think about it, if you're 200 pounds and you lose 20% of your body weight, you're down to 160 pounds. And that is an incredible weight loss goal, 20% weight loss in a year. Does insurance cover it? Maybe. Here at BCS Abundant Life Family Practice, we actually have 2 employees right now who are trying to do prior authorizations all day long, and almost all of it is about trying to get some of these medicines covered by insurance. And a lot of times we're very successful in making that happen. If not, there are compounding pharmacies that really help people because they, instead of being like $800 or $1,000 a month, we've actually gotten a starting dose down with one that a compounding pharmacy that I'm currently partnering with, down to $80 a month to start. And then every month we like to increase the dose. And so usually the medium range is about $110 a month, which, most people can do that. You knock out a Starbucks every single day, you're definitely paying for that. And if you're eating a lot less food, your grocery bill is down, it really might pay for itself. So I encourage that. What are the negatives of those medicines? Some people get nauseous. The reality of it is 20 to 25% of people just can't do it. They get nauseous, they get bloated, sometimes constipated. But the reality of it is 75 to almost 80% of people are able to take it, and it really can do wonders for you. If you want help losing weight, if you want to talk about more details on everything I just discussed, if you want to say, hey, I want to start Ozempic or Mounjaro or the weight loss versions of those medications, or get the compounding pharmacy to get you some of these, please come on in, make an appointment. We would love to discuss this with you. Give us a call, 979-695-3570. Would really love to help you on your weight loss journey in 2025.